Hello and welcome in. It's Chit, Chat, and Chapters. I'm Austin. She's Lauren.
Hello, hello.
I hope that everyone out there listening is having a fantastic day, and I hope your reads have been good. Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm doing as well as you can be, having read as much as I have, and I've already found my first 5 star of the year. So basically, I'm doing top tier.
Whoa! Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. And how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm rocking and rolling. I finished a couple of books this week, and I'm very excited for what I am about to start reading. And also did some cool things. I entered a writing challenge,
Heck
and so
yeah.
we'll get into all that a little bit later on in the podcast. But first things first, Lauren, what are you reading right now?
Right now, I have started the next. I only have 2 of these left in the series. It's called Play Along. So this is the fourth in the Windy City series, that sports romance interconnected standalones that I talk about frequently. So this is the
Yeah.
fourth one out of 5, and this follows the brother of the one in the third book. So it's baseball, and so we're just barely started. I'm only like a couple pages in. So,
You love a
but I already
baseball
know.
romance.
I know. I'm gonna love it so much. I'm so excited.
Well, good. Very good. What else? Are you listening to anything, or you take after you did have a pretty hectic couple of days of reading?
I did. I had a couple of hectic days, which we'll get into. I have been trying to finish Spare by Prince Harry for like months, is my
Oh,
audiobook. Yeah, and now that I'm unemployed and don't have a commute, I don't listen to audiobooks near as much as I used to because I just sit and read the book. And so I need to finish this memoir so badly. I'm mad at myself for bringing it into 2026, but we'll get there. We'll get it figured out, but I'm just doing a lot more physical reading right now.
yeah, makes total sense. Absolutely. Like for me, when I listen to audiobooks, I listen when I'm doing like the dishes. I've got certain cleaning chores that I listen to. Obviously in the car all the time, but also I'm a weirdo. When I'm at the gym, I listen to audiobooks. I don't listen to music.
Interesting. Okay, so I like just get on the treadmill and I actually like walk when I read at the gym. Otherwise, like yeah, I don't know that I could do that while I was lifting weights though. That'd be I don't know because like
Really?
lifting my brain is already thinking about too many other things. I think I would ignore my book.
Nah, brain shuts off. Just all that's there is lift heavy things, listen to book. Listen to story, move muscles. That's it. There's no thought. And even when I'm going for like a really big heavy deadlift or a heavy bench press or something where it's like I need to really focus in, I there are some people who love like death metal or gangster rap and all that sort of stuff. Like it's just the music never really mattered to me. It never got me in a certain frame of mind. I'll stop listening to the audiobook like 30 seconds before the lift, focus, and then go for the lift.
Interesting. That's okay. That's like so like I'm with you that like I don't need a certain type of music when I lift, but I do like music. I don't want just like silence. But like good for you. Good for you, honestly. That yeah, just good for you to be able to do that.
I To be fair, I also pick audiobooks that are more exciting. So like I couldn't listen to Matthew McConaughey while I was at the gym. For some reason, it just didn't work. But like my Harry Dresden books that are action packed, yeah,
Yeah,
makes total
that's
sense.
fair.
The Longmire series, perfect for the gym because
Mhm.
it's actiony, it's fast moving. It's not you don't really have to think too much about it. You just get to enjoy the action or the story that's taking place.
See, and maybe that's my problem is that like I really only in the audiobook space do memoirs. I'm like pretty like I
Mm.
haven't really gotten into audiobooks as a sole thing in the fiction realm. I listen to an audiobook if I'm reading as well and do the whole immersive thing, but to just do an audiobook, like, I haven't really jumped into that 100%, and maybe that needs to be another 2026 goal, is to try that a little bit more frequently with something, like you said, that has a little bit more action to it.
Maybe. And like it's so funny because I've bumped into a couple things with audiobooks as of late. So I started uh, Jim Butcher. He's the author of the Dresden Files. He has another series. I can't even remember what it's called. Give me one second. I've got it in Libby. It's called The Aeronauts Windlass, first in a new series of the Cinder Spire series. And something that I keep running into with audiobooks is that if I don't know the premise of the book beforehand, it is a nightmare to get into it in audio form.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like it truly was like I knew nothing about this book. Zero. None. Didn't even read the back of it. Just knew Jim Butcher wrote it, so I probably would so I'm gonna give it a try. But it's obviously so far removed from the Dresden Files. It's not in that universe at all. And so going into it, I got 30 minutes in and went, what the hell is happening? Like, it just didn't, nothing clicked for me. But a book that I finished, Margot's Got Money Troubles, I knew the premise of it going into it. And even though that's not a super high action book, I still was able to listen to it and kind of latch on to everything. So I need to check myself before I just pick an audiobook. I need to actually like figure out what is this book about before I can really enjoy it in audio form.
See, and I wonder if that's not why I have trouble with audiobooks sometimes, because I am a chronic, I judge a book by its cover. I do not read the back 90% of the time. I go into things pretty blind with my books. And so I'm wondering if that's not translating to audio and why I don't struggle to kind of get into something, that same kind of theory that you're dealing with.
Yeah, I think it might have something to do with it. I'm curious what some people like. I follow people on TikTok who are all about audiobooks and like that's their
Oh, yeah.
preferred method of reading. And it's not that it's not mine. Like I don't know if I could say which is preferred, reading in person or audiobook, but I'm curious how much they know going into it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna start commenting that on audiobook TikToks that I come across. I'm gonna start commenting it and like gathering
Yeah.
research because I want to know now. Because yeah, that's so curious to me because I have the same thing. I have a lot of people on TikTok that I follow like that literally all are audiobooks, and I'm just like I don't get this at all because I'm very much
Yeah.
a physical reader. Love me a physical book like or ebook, but I want to eyeball read.
Yeah. Which that's the other thing. I have not gotten into ebooks. Like I can't sit and read on my phone or anything like that. I haven't tried a Kindle or an e-reader of any kind.
Life changing.
But I'm nervous to. That's what I hear. And I'm nervous that it's going to change my life and it's going to like I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm scared of that change.
Nope. With as much as you do Libby and stuff, I could see you thriving with a Kindle. Like I'm with you. I don't like reading on my phone. I don't like the screen. I don't like reading on my iPad. Full screen, slightly bigger than a Kindle, whatever. I don't like it. The Kindle, it has this little like gremlin inside that like sparks little things of joy and like it just hits you with direct dopamine or something because the Kindle has magic powers, I swear. I am in love with my Kindle. And Libby does the e-reads directly to your Kindle. It's a whole game-changing system, and I love that freaking thing so much. It's easily my favorite piece of technology.
Dang it. I'm going to have to do it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know how to test run it. Like my mom has a Kindle, my sister has a Kindle. Can I like just steal theirs, or is it
Yes.
not the same? Is the gremlin each their own gremlin?
No. So the funny thing is, I bought Ben a Kindle a few years back for Christmas when I was like trying to get him into reading. And now I also have a Nook, the Barnes and Noble version of a Kindle that I've had for like ever. And it has the original Hunger Games series on it, which Ben is currently reading. And so he's reading it on my Nook, and he's like, this isn't the same. I don't like it. I want my Kindle back. It is exclusive to the Kindle device. It's just the gremlin lives in any of the devices, so you could easily steal your mom's or your sister's. Or what I've seen a lot of people do as a life hack for like to get a Kindle cheap, they buy the kids version. It has smaller memory, but it's digital books, and nobody has ever filled their memory of their Kindle ever in the history of whatever. Because you can also just archive books, and if you're borrowing from Libby, they're not saving anyway. But you buy a kid's Kindle, it's slightly smaller, barely, but it's like $100 cheaper.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a game changer. $100 cheaper is huge.
I'm pretty sure it's a absurd
Somewhere
amount
around
cheaper.
there. $50, even if it was $50 cheaper, that would be worth it.
Yep. Yep. And you don't get
gonna have to
ads
do
because
it.
it's a
I'm
kid's
gonna have
Kindle,
to
so
do
like
it.
they don't want the like book recommendations on the screen and stuff, so you don't get the ads.
Oh man!
You get smaller storage space, but who cares? And I think there's like one other. It's not waterproof, but okay, don't read in the bathtub, Austin. You're gonna have to cut that habit out. It's so negligible that it's like, why not?
Yeah. Well, all right. I guess I know what I'm doing with what's left of my Christmas money.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, of the books that I am currently reading, I tried to start that Cinder Spire series. It's a no-go for now. Like, I'll try it again later. I am listening to, right currently, I am listening to The Law by Jim Butcher, a Dresden Files novella. Because for the first time in my adult life, I bought an audiobook. Because the newest Dresden Files book is out now officially. 12 Months by Jim Butcher, number 18 of the Dresden Files, narrated by James Marsters, is out now, and I'm not waiting for it to come to the local library. I bought it. It was $23 on Apple
Yep.
Books.
That's totally
I'm sure I
fair.
overpaid for it. I don't care. I'm doing it. As soon as I'm done with the novella, I am diving into 12 Months by Jim Butcher, and I'm so freaking excited.
I'm so excited for you. That's absolutely hilarious that you've waited this long without buying an audiobook. That's wild, especially with as many as you listen to. But like, good on you. You max out that Libby card, man. You work that system.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I do my absolute best to spend no money on books, and then I still somehow spend so much money on physical books. And so doing it on an audiobook. Yeah.
Good. I'm so happy for you. So okay, so we're doing the Law on audio. What are you reading?
Physically reading, I don't know yet. I've
Ooh,
got
okay.
kind of yeah. I just finished today the Nightmare on Colton Street or whatever the hell that book's called. Which we'll get into that book. We've got a topic that kind of encases that book very nicely, so we're gonna kind of hold off on what we finished this week. But now I'm at an impasse. I don't know. I just got Onyx Storm, which I know you want me to read so bad. And I want to read so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an Emily Henry book, The Big Beautiful...
Great Big Beautiful Life.
Great Big Beautiful Life, which everyone says is really, really good.
Yep.
I picked up a book called The Hexologist, which is like Sherlock Holmes meets magic, which I think looks really good. And I just picked up Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay, I think I'm gonna need you to read that just because, like, I need to know if I've been like eyeing it for so long, and I think I'm gonna need you to read it so you can tell me if you think I would like it.
It's the TikTok book of the month right now. Like people love Dungeon Crawler Carl. People love the audiobook too, which is,
See.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Dungeon Crawler Carl next.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to,
yeah.
because I need to know whether or not that's another series I need to get into or not. Because I think there's like 8 books out too, is the other thing. It's another not
I think you're
small
right.
series.
Yeah, shocker. Austin finds another series he's into.
Fair.
I legitimately, when I got into my reading journey, legitimately, part of my like caveats for books was I don't want to read series. I don't want to get tied down to reading the same couple of books or like same style of books. I want to find different books, different authors, and I have turned into the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd that work for you?
Trilogies. It didn't.
That's so funny. That's so good.
Oh, goodness. So I think Dungeon Crawler Carl is going to be my next physical read.
Good.
We'll
Good.
see how it goes.
Perfect.
Very good. Now, before we get into, we do need to head to a break, so that way we can then talk about the books we did finish, because we got some interesting stuff to go with them. So don't go anywhere. It's Chit Chat and Chapters. Back after this. Welcome back to Chit Chat and Chapters. Austin and Lauren here with you right now, talking about books that we finished. And the reason why normally we keep all those in the first segment and we keep it all contained. This time, we both had a couple of books that kind of changed a few things and ended up having a topic come to mind. So, Lauren, tell me about the books that you finished this week.
Yeah, so I finished 5 books this week, which
Jeez.
yeah, which we'll push it and one more time into. I'll get into why I did kind of a reading challenge thing that I want to hit on a little bit more. But there was one in particular that really stuck with me that I still have not given a rating to, because here's the thing. So I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This book, it's a historical fiction. It's about 2 sisters in Nazi Paris. The Nazis come and infiltrate Paris, and it's a historical fiction. It's gorgeous. Very pretty book. For like 80% of this, it was good. I was thinking I was going to give it like 3 stars. It was reading very 3-star for me, which again is a book that I'm enjoying. I was really enthralled with it, but there was nothing that I was really sinking my teeth into about this. I thought, there was nothing overly like, it's Nazi, so I don't say it wasn't traumatic, but like, it was a history book, kind of, is
We've
how
all
it was feeling.
read World War II stuff.
Right, exactly. And it read like another one of those, that these 2 sisters, very polar opposites in how they're helping war efforts. Cool. Then you get to the last like 10 pages, 15 pages maybe, but like the last little bitty chunk of this book, I was in hysterics crying at this book. And it put such a gorgeous bow on the rest of it that now I don't know what to rate it, because I think it deserves 5 stars. I think it's a 5-star book.
Whoa!
Because of the
whoa.
way, yeah. And can you do that? I don't know how I feel about doing that.
Whoa! Okay. So not just like, ooh, the ending was really good and it had me bump it up to instead of it 3 stars, it's 4 stars. You're telling me, and you're a strict 5-star rater.
That's a hard rating for me. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Because not only did it because there's certain books that like I would bump from a 3 to a 4 because they wrap everything up nicely at the end. Yeah. But this the ending of this book goes back and explains it leaves you so many nuggets that not only is it wrapping up this little thing, but it's like, oh, you remember that moment? Now you're crying over this moment that happened at the beginning of the book. And now you're crying at this moment in this other book. And this one character walks through a door and you're like, the hell? And it's like such a whiplash of emotions at the very end of this that you're not just wrapping up the story, you're fixing pieces of it that you didn't know need fixed.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is not where I thought you were going to go with this, because when we kind of talked about this idea for a subject, I was like, oh man, the Colton Unleashed or Threats of Colton, Nightmare on Colton Elm
Attack
Street.
on Colton Street.
Yeah. I was like, I get this topic because the book that I finished 2 books. I finished Margot's Got Money Troubles, which I've talked about on this show before because Liz had read it.
Oh, yeah.
I no longer think it's a good book for Ben, just because the subject matter is not what I thought it was. It's quick tangent so I can get it out of the way. Margot's Got Money Troubles. The reason why I said Ben should read it was because one of the main characters is a former WWE guy, and whatever. It kind of talks about that just a little bit. More of it talks about OnlyFans and sex work, and because like Margot has a child with her professor from college, and the professor wants nothing to do with her. And so she tries to find a way to make ends meet, and she starts selling pictures of her boobs on OnlyFans. And
I thought you were going to say that the WWE star did, and I was just going to ask if it was Matt Riddle.
No. A WWE star does have, or not a WWE star, someone does have an OnlyFans who wrestles, and that's what gives her the idea to start an OnlyFans. So
is his name Matt?
No, it's a girl. I don't remember what her name was, but yeah, like the book was good, but like the subject matter of it, even like, not that like porn or like all that sort of stuff are like untouchable subjects, or to like humanize them is bad. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I just felt a little gross reading it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of all there is to it.
Yep.
So I gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars. Really funny, but not quite great.
Fair.
So Margot's Got Money Troubles. There's that one. Now, Colton Threat Unleashed.
Back on track. Okay.
It is the first book in the Coltons of Owl Creek series that is written by multiple authors for... Yeah.
The lore of this book just keeps getting better.
It's the first of 12 books that they came out monthly by Harlequin Press. Okay? This book sucks. Okay? It's bad. Okay? It's got 4.5 stars on Goodreads. Because it's got 119 ratings. And these are all women who just don't want to think about books, okay? They don't want any... This book sucks. It's bad. I didn't know anything about our main character, Sebastian Cross, until page 84. The only thing I knew about him up until page 84 was that he was a veteran and that he owns a dog training facility. That's it. And that he apparently had banged the veterinarian and gotten her pregnant. A one-night stand that they used protection, and oh my gosh, I don't know how we got pregnant. Like, that all happens before the book even starts. This book sucks. Okay? It is soap opera. It is a thing happens, a thing happens, a thing happens, a thing happens, a thing happens.
Yeah.
And for most of this book, I hated it. I wanted to put it down. And then I got to the last 40 pages. And the last 40 pages, when everything wraps up, you smile. I'm so mad. I'm so livid because this book was not good. But the ending was just good enough to make me go, all right.
Okay. So we are having the same problem. I'm just having it on like an existential 5-star level.
Yeah.
And you're having it on a Revenge of the Colton level.
Mine went from, I actually changed my rating. So it was going to be 1 star, burn this book, nobody should ever read it.
Correct.
I changed it to 2.75 stars. And then I thought back and was like, that's too high. 90% of this book was terrible. I can't give it that much. So I knocked it down to 2.25 stars.
That's amazing. Well, but
So
okay, but that also then that makes sense then as to why all the like little old ladies that are reading this are giving it a 4.5 is because it has a happy ending.
it has a happy ending where
Yep.
the entire time, I'm going to spoil this book. No one should read this book. I'm going to spoil it. So
No.
this book, the entire plot line is I'm Sebastian Cross. I'm a loner. I'm all alone, and I don't need anyone in my life, but I'll be there for my child when they eventually come. And
Is it spicy?
no! I was livid! I didn't even get a good sex scene in this book. I got nothing! This was PG-13 at best.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. And then the other person in this pregnancy, the mom, Ruby Colton, who is one of a billion Coltons in this small town.
So there are a bunch of Coltons. There is an abundance of Coltons.
There are so many Coltons.
Okay,
There
good.
are
Because when the main character was not named Colton, I was pissed.
Ruby Colton is the one of like 5 children from this guy who went from owning the hardware store to turning Owl Creek into a tourist attraction. And so he's got buku money. They've got tons of family. And we're supposed to know who all these people are. This is the first book in a series, and it doesn't tell me jack about any of the Coltons other than, you know the Coltons, they run Owl Creek. Okay, fine, I guess. Sucks. But Ruby is pregnant, and the entire book is going, I'm a loner. I don't want anyone. I don't want to get married. It's 2 people who are loners who want to be alone and then have a child together. That's the plot. And then there's a whole thing about like a guy trying to like basically he's trying to get Sebastian's land because he's trying to steal Sebastian's land. He's trying to find a way to ruin Sebastian's business so that way he can get the land, whatever. And the bad guy ends up trying to kidnap Ruby because he realizes that Ruby is saving the dogs every single time that he tries to kill the dogs. And all like thing happens. It's terrible. It's poorly written. The bad guy, the villain, isn't even a good villain. It hints at maybe Sebastian's dad had an affair and this guy is his half brother and he thinks that should have inherited this land. No, he was just a religious nut out of nowhere who believed that God said that this land was his.
This is literally like cartoon cowboy type. Yeah.
It's so bad. But in the last 30 pages, Sebastian looks at Ruby and says, "Marry me." And the 2 of them come together and realize, I don't want to be alone. I want to be with you.
They can be alone together.
They can be alone together. And they want love in their life. And there's a whole thing about how Sebastian grew up with he was a loner because he had to be. His parents just kind of let him be. It wasn't a family of love. Ruby, all of this family chose to be a loner, but always had love to fall back on. And now she realizes that she can be that for him. And it's like, well, that's really sweet.
Well, that's kind of cute.
That's kind of cute. Why'd the rest of the book have to suck?
Why couldn't we have done this 100 pages ago?
Yeah!
Or, make it a slow burn. Give us a nugget. Just give us a little bit of a nugget here or there that something might have maybe happened.
It tries to be a slow burn.
I don't think you can be a slow burn with pregnancy off rip.
Thank you! It tries to live in both worlds. But, page 1 is I can't believe that I had sex with her. And like then there's a whole thing about she finding out she's pregnant and then having to tell him, and it's a whole thing. The book sucks for 90%.
So you did. So you are in the camp then, to go back to the Nightingale, an actually good book.
Yeah.
You are in the camp that because it ended so much better, you raised your rating.
I raised my rating quite a bit.
Yep.
Raised my
See, and
I don't know if I could change it from a 3-star to a 5-star though. Like
I want to sob thinking about the end of this book, Austin.
really?
It makes me teary-eyed. I can't think about it too hard, or else I cry.
Oh.
I read it a week ago. Today. And I
That
want to
sounds like a
cry
5-star
thinking
read.
about it. Yep.
Oh no, Lauren.
Yep. I think I'm going to. Because a 4 doesn't feel fitting. A 4 this is kind of the same problem I had with Project Hail Mary a little bit, where like I was in between a 3 or a 4-star. I actually think I know I rated it a 4-star. But like I was in between it enough that like I knew I wasn't gonna go a 3.5. That was a cop out in my world, and that's how this feels. This is either a 3-star book because literally the entire time I'm like cool, or it's a 5-star because the ending made the rest of it fall into place so well that I cannot think about it without crying.
Man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. That feels like a 5-star book to me. What you have described is a 5-star book.
I know. I think it is.
Oh man, wow, an ending that like it's so interesting because like you and I come from the world of marketing, advertising, and like
Yeah.
you can get away with a lot of things with a good beginning and a good ending. The meat of the sandwich can be rancid, but if it has a good beginning and a good ending, then like you can deal
Yep.
with it. This like how long was this book?
It is 438 pages.
That is a lot to get through to make it worth it.
Yeah. Yep. And okay, so the first chapter was really intriguing. The first chapter is why I like kept into it. So that is like 4 pages. Cool. So the first 4 pages, fantastic. It would be I was crying fervently starting at 4. No, because I didn't even realize what was happening until 429. So 7 pages at the end had me in hysterics, Austin.
Whoa.
Hysterics.
I'm at a loss for words. Because that should not be a 5-star book.
No. But yet, if I'm like literally like losing looking at those pages and seeing those names makes me want to cry. That's a 5-star book.
That's a 5-star book. For you to feel so strongly, that's a 5-star book. Oh, man. That had the reason. And here's what I'll say. Here's the difference between your book and mine. Is that your book landed a plane. My book got a canoe to shore. Like,
Yeah.
like your book had rocky moments, but at the end of the day landed something big.
Yeah.
And landing something big is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
If it can recontextualize the whole book, I get it.
I would argue even to that point, it landed a plane on the Hudson. It sullied, like,
Ooh, that's high praise.
the flight was smooth and you think you're going to land no problem up until it gets real rocky real fast and all of a sudden you're on a river, but you're alive.
Wow, that's really impressive. That's a 5-star read.
I think
I
it is.
didn't want to be on that side. I really
I know.
believed.
I know.
I wanted to have the integrity of no, a whole book it should be a whole book experience. But
I don't want to. I don't want a bad page. I don't want a bad page in my 5-star reads.
Yeah. But but the but the reason why I'm okay letting it be a 5-star in my mind is purely because it does all of those moments that it talks about clearly stuck with you. Like
Yeah.
prior to it mentioning the thing.
It
you
had the
no-
same impact as a different 5-star, as a 5-star that every page is phenomenal. It had the same impact at the end.
Man. That's incredible. That's really cool. Man, good on you.
Phenomenal.
Wow. All right. So yeah, I guess
So-
we're in agreement that an ending of a book can bump a rating pretty nicely.
Okay.
But golly, I don't feel good about it.
I know. Viewers, let us know what you think. I'm like, we need some discourse going on in the chat down here because I need to know. I need like a better understanding of like, is this are we in the minority on this, or please tell me we're not alone in something like this.
Yep. We
So
need
need to know.
people to let us know because I feel pretty strongly Lauren's right to give it 5 stars.
I think I am. It just feels weird. It just feels weird.
Very weird. You know what also probably felt weird? You reading 5 books in a day.
Yeah, so I have my YouTube channel, Lauren's Lifestyle, over there. Always be plugging. And one of the videos I wanted to do, I have seen them all over. Some of my favorite book content creators do 24-hour reading challenges. Now, typically, the ones that I see do 12 hours on one day, 12 hours on the next, so then they can at least sleep. The days of doing, like, full 24 hours, like, as close as you possibly can, they're kind of over. And I had 2 days, and I'm still currently unemployed, so I was like, well, I want to do one of these. I want to see if I can. And I even gave myself a little boost, and I started at, like, 3 o'clock the day before. And so I was going to have, like, a good chunk, and then I was going to have 2 days, and it was going to be great. It did end up going into 4 days because my days got busier than I anticipated. But I read for my 24 hours. I kept my timer and I read basically all day that I could in time that I was free. And I read 5 books in that 24 hours.
Wow.
So I read I started with The Night and the Moth. Fantastic fantasy book. I think it's going to be another duology and wait till the second one comes out because this was another one at the ending. I was like, but this was a 5-star for me. This was amazing. Such a good book.
All right.
And so we started with that. I stared at a wall for a while because the ending was shocking. We then picked up a fun little cowboy romance, Cash.
Hey.
This is just a fun little cowboy romance. Nothing of at all any substance, but it was fun.
Nice.
Then we read The Nightingale, again, which we are going to say 5-star. Oh, Cash, I think it's a 3.5 pretty easily. I think I rounded it down on Goodreads. You're welcome. Just for you. I actually think I might have said that in my review.
I did, to be fair, I did round down Colton Thread Unleashed just to give it a middle finger. Okay?
Yep.
This is not because you're right. It is because this book sucks and I want it to not be a 4.5 star rated book.
No, it's
Okay.
because I'm right.
I should have
But-
given it a 1 star out of principle.
That's fair. That's valid. That's fair. But yeah, so I mean, Cash, that was just a fun 3.5. It's a good cowboy, but it's just a cowboy romance. Then I picked up The Nightingale. Bald. Had to take a break because I could not physically think of picking anything up. I read Unlikely Story by Ali Rosen. I need to come up with a better name. I call these nothing books. They're just the filler books. You know, they're the books you read in between other things. They're very cute. Again, this was like a 3-star for me. Very cute, very solid little book. It just was kind of a nothing. It was just that it's not something I consider nothing books the ones that I won't remember by the end of the year. I can really enjoy them in the time that I'm reading them, but like by the end of the year, I won't remember really anything about them.
Sure.
And then last, which it actually lined up so perfect. As the timer went off, I was reading the last page of the next book in the Inheritance Games.
Hey.
And I know you were curious because you didn't like the first book very much.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it because I thought it was a good setup book. And I agree. Like, this was, I don't know that I'd rate it any higher than I rated the Inheritance games, which I gave a 3.5 rounded up to 4. And I would say that's pretty good for this one too. You get way more into it. This one has a lot more kind of, it gets way deeper into the plot and the mystery of it all.
Okay.
I think the one thing for me, and this is probably what you're rubbing up against with this series, is because it's YA, there's a lot of things that they dive down to, but they don't finish digging. And so it kind of scrapes the surface a little bit. And, like, if you can look past that, it's really fun. And I like the main character is, like, the female fan character doesn't bother me for being so young. I think she's really well done. I like the brothers. I think it's a fun dynamic, you know, all that. Plays for a really good book, so I'm really enjoying and will 100% finish the series. But I can see why you rub up against it, just because it does. It, like, it gets there, and it gets there well enough to be satisfying, but not... There, you can really feel that there could be something deeper if it wasn't a YA.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, because I remember listening to the Inheritance games and being like, man, this is really good, except it doesn't finish. It doesn't do the thing.
Doesn't give you a whole lot.
Yeah, it builds and builds and builds, but then it just kind of
yeah. And to be fair, it does start to it. There's a few of the payoffs from the first book in this book. So me saying that the first book was a setup book is very accurate. It very much was, you needed to read them together to get a lot of the payoffs from the first book. But the ones that now I'm hoping it kind of continues that trend of building up something in one book to finish it in the next. Because now there's stuff in this book that I'm like, I need more on that. And if you don't click on it, I'm going to remember that you didn't.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, reading challenge, super fun, 5 books. I thought it was really cool that I ended the last chapter as the timer was going off, because that, like, obviously is really hard to know. Yeah. It's also really hard. I love to read. I obviously read 110 books last year. I mean, I don't have a problem reading for extended amounts of time. But to sit and just read for days on end is a challenge. They call it a challenge for a reason. It is challenging. Mm-hmm. I got to the end of, like, that second full day that I was reading, and I was like, I just want to, like, watch a movie or something. Like, I was just
have
like,
to imagine anything.
Yeah. And, like, I literally took 2 days after, and I did not read anything. I didn't pick up a book. I didn't do anything, because I was like, I scrolled TikTok and mindlessly didn't think about anything. And it's really interesting how we love to read because we love to create those worlds and see the worlds in our head and stuff like that. But then when you, like, continued, and I did a really good job, I think, of, like, picking books that were so different enough that you could pick them up one right after another. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love that, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious how, because you didn't stream it. You didn't, like, no. I'm curious how it would go if you streamed it, because I gives you a little bit, like, go on TikTok Live and just read. Which also, I just saw this thing. Did you hear that Kai Cenat, the very famous streamer, do you know who Kai Cenat is?
Nope.
Yeah, Kai Cenat. If you know a child or a teenager, they will know who Kai Cenat is. He is a Twitch streamer, live stream guy, YouTuber, influencer, that kind of thing, right? Plays video games and does a whole bunch of stuff. I think he's been on WWE, maybe. Like, he's like on that level with the Paul brothers and that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Kai Cenat has started 20 minutes a day reading out loud on his Twitch stream, because he wants to become a better speaker. And so he has begun reading from a book, like a book he may be reading.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And it has... I saw this video of someone talking about how, you know, we use the term influencer to just kind of mean internet famous. But it's very real, the fact that an influencer started to read, and in this time where literacy, like childhood literacy, is at an all time low, seeing your favorite Twitch streamer pick up a book and read to you, like that's huge. That's crazy, and it's
That
caused
makes
other
my heart
streamers.
happy.
I know, right? There have been a couple of other
Especially when you like align with the Paul brothers.
yeah,
My mind automatically goes, ugh. And then you're
uh-huh,
like, oh, but wait, that's really
yep,
cute.
yeah, and a couple other streamers have started to do the same thing, and they are all much younger people, yet way younger than you and I, that have not like yeah they have tons of experience speaking in front of people, but not necessarily I don't know what the right word is. Professionally speaking, like they talk like they're talking to friends
Yeah.
rather
I mean,
than
you and I know the behind the scenes. It's the anchor reading off a teleprompter. That's a skill.
exactly.
You have to know how to read off a teleprompter.
Yeah. And so and it's I actually watched a little bit. I was like, "Man, this guy is being real vulnerable right now." And so I think that for you, I know that we're getting into like our
Talking
social
shop.
media and stuff, but like there's a spot for you to not necessarily read out loud, but like can you imagine a stream where it's you sitting reading and you've got like a cozy vibe around and then you've got a playlist going of like cozy music or whatever to like and the caption is sit and read with me.
So that's a thing. They're called reading sprints.
That's a
People,
thing?
yeah, a lot of my favorite people will do that where they'll do what's called reading sprints and you read together with cozy atmosphere, all the vibes for like 20 to 30 minutes and then they'll pause and they'll chat with everybody that's in the room with them for like 10.
Uh-huh.
And then you go back and you talk about what you're reading. You talk about, oh, I'm reading this book. I've read this book, you know, whatever. You sit and chat for like 10 minutes. Then you
Yeah.
read for 30. And then you chat for 10 and you read for 30. And they're called reading
Whoa.
sprints.
Whoa. You should
Yeah.
do that. I think that would be killer for your content.
That's the goal. That's coming. That's one of my goals is to
Hell
do
yeah.
more. I've done it a couple times, but
Yeah.
that's definitely one of my goals for this year is to do that more because I think they're fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shoot, I want to do that. That sounds really
Right?
fun. Yeah. Chit Chat and Chapters TikTok, watch out.
Heck yeah.
We're going to be going live with reading sprints coming up. Who knows? But man,
Heck yeah.
that's so cool. I tell you what, people like Book Talk has really started to grow beyond itself, I think. I think that it's very cool to see a moment where you're like something's changing and it's
Yeah.
changing for the better.
Well, I
Especially
think we talked about it. I think we talked about it last week when we touched on the Colleen Hoover stuff. That you know, I have a lot of fitness influencers that now do a lot of book stuff. You know, and the thing with book talk and like book influencing, I think in general, that has to come from a genuine place. People
yeah.
are going to see through you so fast if you're not actually reading the book. I mean, I know book talkers that have gotten called out for not actually reading the book and just reading the synopsis and like making content off of that. You get called out so fast that like if you're sharing book content and you're genuine about it, that's going to shine tenfold in such a genuine, fun, pure way that it's really cool, like you said, to see that now in like my fitness space and streaming for kids and
Yeah.
all these places that it's like it's becoming infectious. I mean, when I was working in news, we did a story that local bookstores have seen a colossal boom in 2025 of
Yeah.
reopenings and profitability. I mean, like there's a huge market for it. Like reading's on the comeback and that's just wild to say, but really
Yes.
cool.
It is really cool. And people don't want like I love Barnes and Noble, don't get me wrong. But like people don't want that. People don't want
Yeah.
the Barnes and Noble experience. They don't want the Amazon experience. They want a real go to a place and see what happens kind of thing.
Yep.
It's
They want the community of it. They want
Yes.
to go buy books from a book lover.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's really cool. It's really cool to see. Yeah. I did a challenge of my own this week. I did a writing challenge.
I'm so
I-
excited. Oh,
I-
I love that.
I've been saying for months that I have wanted to write, and I've wanted to write fiction, and I've wanted to, but I've there's always been a hurdle that I couldn't just get myself to just do it.
Yep.
And I got an ad on Instagram for writingbattles.com, which
Yes.
is awesome. It's a
Yes.
website where basically every other month is a they do like words are hard. They do like 10 contests a year, and half of them are professionally judged and the other half are peer judged. And so I paid $35 to enter a short story contest where they give you a subgenre, they give you a character that must be in it, and then an object or a setting that must be a part of the story. And the cards that I got were an underdog story, had to include a healer, and the object was glue. Now, I'm not going to win. And I know this because I read the judging rubric after I wrote the story.
Good job.
Yeah. I thought you just had to mention the object. It just had to be a part of it. Because, like, the character, the healer, doesn't have to be the main character. They just have to be mentioned. The object has to play a pretty significant role, apparently, and mine doesn't. Like, straight up. Just as, like, it's mentioned, that's it.
Amazing.
But, so, I'm not going to win. But I really enjoyed writing it. And my first draft was like 1,230 words. It was 230 words too long, and it took 5 edits to get it to 999 words. And
That's awesome.
yeah, and so it was really cool to have to go back and try and tighten things and really get all that going. I'm gonna record the story, and we're gonna include it. It's called Center Focus, and it's effectively just a fight scene where a guy is trying to help his brother from going into the mafia, right? Like trying to keep his brother away from that life. And so with it, there is also like there's a section of the website where you can post your story, and you can have, and people can read it and leave comments, and you can put, what do you want, just like here for honest critiques? Are you here just to say, hey, I read your story, like what do you want? And it's been really interesting getting some of the comments, because I've read a couple of stories, and one of the stories that I read was okay. Like, it wasn't great. And I was able to give, like, it was very flowery language. This guy wrote, it was his first battle he had ever done, just like me. And so I just randomly clicked on it. So I didn't have any comments, so I read it. It had very flowery language, and, like, the top half was super description heavy, and then the bottom half was like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because you only have 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And then I read someone else's, and like there's just some super talented writers out there, and some of them have books, some of them don't, and it's really cool, at least that this one is going to be professionally judged. They have like 30
That's cool.
professional authors who will read this, and it's got my name attached to it. It's got like my social media attached to it, so that way people can go like check out different stuff that I do.
So you're
And
gonna have to actually start posting on social.
Well, I may have to. I'm only doing things that bring me joy, and if I'm
Absolutely.
and if posting on Instagram, like right now, my Instagram is just filled of reposting of Chit Chat and Chapters Instagram, because that's what brings me joy right now.
Yep.
And so, so like that's it has given me a really nice boost to just start writing whatever. And
Oh yeah, I
so-
mean, one of our favorite college professors used to. I remember first day of class, he told us one of the most intimidating things is a cursor on a blank page.
Yep.
And that's
100%.
I love that you're doing this. I think it's so cool.
And I'm gonna be honest, I wrote a damn good story. Like,
Yay, I can't wait to hear it. So I will be listening to it when I edit it into this, and I'm excited.
yeah, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna record it and send it to you, and then everyone will hear it, at the end of this podcast. But like, I've gotten a couple of comments, and people are like, "This is pretty damn good." Like,
Oh, I love it.
there are a couple of like, there's like, I asked for honest criticism, and
Naturally.
and yeah, of course, and one person pointed out an immediate flaw, and I was like, "You're 100% right. That needs to be ironed out for this to be, a next level story." And so it's a really cool website, and then it also has like a place where you can go and just get random draws to post every day if you wanted to.
Oh, like yeah, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
prompts.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's free. You don't have to join a writing contest or anything to do any of that sort of stuff. So it's
Very cool.
yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Not sponsored, but Writing Battle. If you want to like hit us up, you know where to find us.
Writingbattle.com, man. Let us know. Give us a link.
Yeah. We'll share that out.
Yeah, save 10% on your first writing battle.
Oh, amazing. No, that's super cool. I'm glad, like, I'm like the ideal consumer. If you have a good Instagram post, or if like I get TikTok shopped all the time, man, I am the ideal consumer. But I do love when you come across something like that where you're like, this is just genuinely cool, So like I'm so excited. Like, you're gonna have to do more than just the competition ones, because I'm gonna want like, what was your random prompt today, Austin? Like, I'm gonna need more follow up than this once a month thing that you think you're doing.
Yep. It's definitely going to be a thing where, like, I think that it's another thing that I think we could do on the Chit Chat and Chapters TikTok live stream. Like, it's a
Yeah.
thing that, like, hey, Austin's doing his weekly writing or something
Yep.
like that, and so here's what Austin's prompts are. Join in, hey, see your ideas, something like that. But, just something
Love it.
to, like, I'm doing things that bring me joy, and I tell you what, like, I've started to do. I know Liz doesn't listen to this, so it'll be fine.
Liz.
Yeah, I know. But I am in the process of I bought a little like 100-page notebook. It's like little thing, and the front page of it. I wrote little love letters to Liz, and I am just writing just the smallest of little love letters, and when it's filled, I'm gonna give it to her.
God damn, you're cute. That's so sweet. Well, no, don't just give it to her. You guys have 10 years coming up.
We do. We're
Like 2 years?
2 years, yeah, because 2017
2017
was when we got married. So yeah, 2027. So a year.
So you have like a year and a half. Year and a half.
Yeah, save it
Year
for
anniversary.
then. We have a goal of wanting to do, like, we want to be debt free by 10-year anniversary, so that way we can just get a big bunch of debt and do our anniversary in Italy. Because yeah. We've never like been out of the country. We've
Yeah.
always like we moved to Florida on credit cards, and then we moved back to Nebraska on more credit cards. So like we're like, for us to be debt free and be able to do an anniversary trip to Italy by our 10-year anniversary, like that's the goal. That's what we're hoping
I
for.
love that. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. And who knows?
That's-
Maybe doing it by winning writing battles on writingbattle.com is the way to do it.
Right? Obviously, that feels like the only way to do it, actually.
So I guess with that, if you want to help Austin get his wife to Italy for our 10-year anniversary, be sure to like and subscribe.
Heck yeah!
Hit all the buttons on the side if you're on TikTok. If you like what we do, let us know and share it with your friends, because this is Chit Chat and Chapters, and we have an absolute blast bringing you this podcast and all the content that comes with it.
Absolutely.
Lauren, where can they find you on all the social medias?
I am on Lauren's Lifestyle across the board. 24-hour reading challenge will be up here after this pod, but just barely. So once you find this and you hear about this, there's a good chance it might already be out on the others. I don't know for sure how that's lining up, but that'll be on YouTube, so you will get to go find me there. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Goodreads, Fable. I'm on all the things.
Nice. Very nice. I am Austin. You can find me on social media that I may or may not use, at Radio Guy Austin. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time to give you more of the world of reading from our point of view. This has been Chit Chat and Chapters. We'll see you next time. Keep on reading! Crack! My vision blurs after a bare-knuckle right hand sends me reeling. Just the edges of my vision go soft, but the center is crystal clear, locked onto the ugly mug of the Fix. I know his mom calls him Jimmy. Actually, I know what everyone's mom calls everybody in this snowy, dingy Chicago alleyway. Robert, Davy, Richard, Henry, and Carl. 6 guys I grew up with. 6 guys who made a very different choice in how they want to live their lives. "Give it up, Stan," Jimmy taunts. He knows I've got no chance in this fight. Jimmy the Fix has me by 6 inches, 50 pounds, and is the enforcer for the 26th Street Gang. These 6 guys in their mid-20s, along with maybe 24 kids, supposedly run Kermack Road to 26th along Wentworth Avenue. Protectors of the neighborhood. I spit blood onto the alley at the thought. I find my footing among the discard of Chicago and walk forward with my hands up. Crack, crack! 2 more heavy hits from the Fix. My lip is split, and I've got a massive cut above my left eye. More blur, but the center stays in focus. A bunch of wannabe Capones. The boss of Chicago just took up shop in the Lexington Hotel, and these boys want what he's selling. Sure, Al Capone has what we all want, but I've seen what he leaves behind. I've heard the rattle of Tommy guns slamming into buildings and human flesh. I've seen blood run into the sewers. I will not let my little brother live a life like that. Francis is 16, 5 years younger than me, and 6 weeks ago, he started running around with Davy and Jimmy. 4 weeks ago, Frankie came home with torn pants and 1 shoe. 2 weeks ago, his face was hamburger. Last week, Ma found a bullet hole in his jacket. I throw a combo aiming for the bridge of Jimmy's nose, but he's got reach, and easily parries my punches and sends a looping hook across my chin. I drop to a knee. Jimmy grabs my hair and slams his knee into my eye socket. Crunch! Flat on my back, the cold slime of Chicago oozes down the back of my jacket. Don't you get it, Stan? Davy's nasally voice sneaks past the ringing in my ears. Frankie wants a better life. He doesn't need you. He's got us. I open my eyes. Well, at this point, and there's Davy looming. I send a bloody loogie onto his shoe and get to all fours. Whoomp! All the air in my lungs is forced out after Davy punts my rib cage. I keep climbing, keep trying to find my footing. If I quit now, Frankie doesn't have a chance. He's as good as dead. Maybe not today, or next week, but I know that if I don't keep fighting, I'll bury my brother in Rose Hill before Ma has a chance to get old. I won't put her through that. I get to my feet. More blur, the shadows at the edge of my vision get darker, but the center remains focused. Jimmy charges forward to finish me. I duck under his haymaker and land a hook to his ribs. Air expels from his lungs in surprise. I drive my heel into the side of his right knee, and he drops to it. This is it. I throw my fist with no care as to what I actually hit. A hook hits the back of his ear, an uppercut slams his pectoral. Straight rights and lefts barrage his nose. He shoves me away, but I charge, tackling the Goliath to the ground. My ears roar. We roll in the slush and the grime. Jimmy finds his way on top and closes his hand around my windpipe. As I fight against his grip, my left hand frantically gropes around the alley for something, anything that could help. Got it. Boom! The brick crumbles after finding purchase on Jimmy's temple. He slumps off of me as I gulp in heavy breaths of air. The roar silences. I stare up at the other 5, murder in their eyes. I close my eyes. I know what's coming. Bang! A pistol fires and I hear footsteps rushing away from the alley. Come on, kid. Let's get you some help, a deep voice says to me, hoisting me off the cold alley floor. I wake up to a searing heat across the cut on my left eye. Ah! Hold still. The glue will close the wound, the basso voice says. I lament in silent agony. Thanks, I say as he finishes bandaging my wounds on my face and hands. Why'd you pick that fight? The strange man says, putting away his tools. I wanted them to stay away from my little brother. He was getting in trouble with them, and I had to stop it, I say, breathing in the scent of alcohol and rawhide closing my wounds. It takes a strong will to stand up for your family, he says, looking me in my one open eye. I can help you. Okay, how? I say hesitantly. Work for me. I'm the doc. I heal those who come to me and don't ask any questions. If someone is hurt, I help them, Doc says. I have plenty of favors that need cashing in. I can make sure nobody wants any part of your brother. I chew on that for a minute. What's the cost? Doc's voice rumbles intensely. Exactly what you did today. Fight the good fight. Help me heal those who need it and put people in their place who need a reminder that we are called to make the world a better place. Here it is. A chance to keep my family safe from anybody. But I have to keep fighting. I have to be Doc's fix. I will do anything to keep my family safe.